Hail and well met, my fellow Hearthstone players, and welcome to HearthCoach, the podcast that can help you be legendary. I'm your host, Dan, and this is my co-host, Frid.
Hello, everybody.
He is a player of Legend Rank, and I have convinced him to coach me and record it in podcast form so as to hopefully help some more of you make it to Legend also. Alright, a nice, neat, clean opening.
Yeah, it's like you're live, man, so you know you have to deliver. You can't...
I'm on top of things. It's like there's a camera in my face and the whole world could see me if they wanted to.
That's right. They're welcome to. Just gotta go visit the channel.
Come on in, world. The water's fine.
Yep. So how are you, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good. It's been a pretty decent week of Hearthstone. I've been a little more experimental. Not quite like nothing like the Prince or anything. That he looked good and it seemed like a cool idea at the time, but yeah, that didn't work out at all. I've tried something a bit more normal, and not quite as crazy.
Okay.
I did put a couple of buzzards in my Face Hunter.
Oh, it's two of them.
Two, yeah, I put two in because I'm like,
wow. When
I need them, I'm gonna need them.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I want access to them. So I took out the two horsemen, the 2/1 stealth, 2/1. Oh, me and words when I need them. Charge. The 2/1, the horseman with charge.
The Argent Horse Rider? This is what you're thinking?
Rider.
Yeah.
That's the ones. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway, and I put in the two starving buzzards. Oh, goodness. Buzzards.
Starving buzzard. That's right.
Anyway, it's been interesting. I've been more help than anything. There's been like 3 games that have really, at least 3 games that come to mind where it's turned me around, where it just kind of petered out, and I've been able to refill a hand with like a buzzard hound's move, or buzzard and the snakes go off. They give me that little bit of extra at the end that I had come up short on.
Okay.
It happened with me against a priest tonight. I was able to he cleared things with the Firewalker. It does a point of damage when you play a spell.
Flame Waker.
Firewalker. The Flame Waker.
Right.
He cleared the board with one of those, and but the next turn I was able to this was later, a little bit later in the game, but I was able to refill my hand and finish him off. Whereas before I wouldn't have been able to come up with enough steam to go the distance. And that's happened at least 3-4 games now. And the change has taken me from 13 to 9. I was just duking it out at 13 for a while. Got up to 10, been duking it out at 10 for a little bit. I hit a solid 9 today. I was almost 8.
Wow.
I had one of those strings of just not real good draws, and opponents just seeming like they get everything they need. I even had a rogue who played Barnes into that 10-10. Well, I pulled out like a 1/1 copy of it. I pulled out a 10-10, and then it did a gang up where it made 3 copies of the 10-10, and oh Jesus, that and taunts, druids with the 5-10 taunts. I can get around like a taunt, but you start getting up 1 or 2 of those, I can't.
Yeah,
even when I refill my hand, there's not much I can do about that.
Yeah, for a Face Hunter, there's just no way that you can get through that.
Taunts are my bane, which is a real shortcoming with the deck. But being able to refill my hand seems to have been helping. So don't tell anybody, because no one out there is even trying to play Face Hunter right now, it seems. So,
right.
I do like the fact that I'm not playing anything all that like unique or anything. Well, it's a bit unique now, but a little more old school, I guess. Seems to be working. I'll keep you all informed as to
how you're
how progress
progressing
goes.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
So anyway, that has been my week with the Hearthstone.
Okay.
How's your week been?
It was quiet. I didn't play too much. Well, my daughter was at camp this weekend, and normally
Okay.
my wife goes as one of the parents, but this is the first time she did not go.
Okay.
So she was a little nervous and freaking out about the daughter going away, but there's parents there, so we actually. It's rare that we have a weekend to ourselves, so we did stuff. We watched a movie, we went to dinner, so we did all kinds of good stuff. I did play a little bit on Sunday, and got to from 4 to 3, so nothing too exciting, but getting there, progressing slowly, trying variety of different shaman decks, and yeah, that's kind of the story right now. Nothing too exciting going on in terms of that. There was maintenance today, this morning, so I tried to play early, but it was down. So
Actually, it rained. I got a few games in at work today. Actually, hit 9 on my phone.
oh, look at you!
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's a first. And then came home, and like I said, anyway, no need for me to go over, especially since we have a guest waiting in the wings.
All right, then.
Anyway, and I don't need to keep carrying on. We do have a guest with us this evening, and I don't think we have really a whole lot more housekeeping to tend to. Well, we do have one iTunes review that came in, right? Tatted? Is that correct?
Yes, it was
Okay.
Tatted Geek. Thank you so much for that review. And
We appreciate it.
Yep.
They keep us keep us competitive with all the big time podcasts. So thank you, everybody. Keep them coming. Love seeing those reviews.
Absolutely. It's always fun to get that in. So thank you.
Yeah, and it makes us know that what we're doing here is worthwhile.
Yep.
Aside from fun.
All right, so we have with us today a special guest. The third time he's been on the show, so I think he's the most visited guest or featured guest.
Pretty much a regular now.
Yeah, we may want to incorporate him. I have told him before that his shows always get very positive response. So we love to have him here, and he has a very unique and special deck that he wants to share with us today. So without further ado, welcome again, Black Wolf. How are you, man?
Good, Fred. How are you?
I'm pretty good, although I think this the stream is still not working, so that is a problem. So I think we're not going to be live, but maybe it is. Somebody in the chat may be able to tell us if it is working. But aside from that, doing good. How have you been? I mean, there's been some things that have happened since you last been here, so maybe you want to kind of catch us up with what you've been up to?
Yeah. So the last time I was here was, what was it, June 28th? Pretty sure that was right after Cydonia won the championship.
That's right.
And now we're a whole season through, and I ended up almost going into the summer championship. Unfortunately, didn't make it there, but made it through a Tavern Hero, but lost because you have to qualify, because the Tavern Hero system's a bit strange. You have to win 2 out of 3 basically to progress through to the regular tournament. And so I almost made it to that, but unfortunately got knocked out by someone who actually watches this show, from what I've been told, which is pretty funny. But anyway, my teammate Monsanto did end up making it, and he landed about an hour ago. He landed in California, not sure exactly where, but him and the rest of the top 8, I know for a fact, are all staying up on the same floor of a hotel, like a major hotel there. They should be having a good time, probably partying a little bit and practicing some games.
Awesome.
So I wish them all luck, but obviously Monsanto, I want him to win more than anyone. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's still pretty good.
So you helped Cydonia, right?
Yeah,
Practice?
I did help Cydonia back at in the spring prelims. Spring championship, and he ended up winning that. And now Monsanto, he brought a very unique lineup, but I think I'm confident in his skill to win, and I hope he does well.
Well, so we'll be pulling for him. We'll have to try and watch that one for sure.
Yeah, that's this Saturday and Sunday. If any viewers want to check in, it's on the official Play Hearthstone Twitch channel live. And it should be good because all the players are the highest of quality.
Right.
And they all brought good decks. So
what is the name of the team? Did you mention that already? Or
yeah, my team, well, it's more of a startup, but it's called Resurgence Gaming. And we're basically just 5 of the best Quebec Hearthstone players. And we're basically just slowly searching for sponsorships and trying to get through it. You know, right now it's probably a tough time to start a Hearthstone team. Especially with both Hearthlytics and Navi being shut down. And Archon.
Archon is gone. Yeah, that was a huge one.
Yeah.
They were putting out some awesome content and tournaments. So that was shocking. Well, but you have Luminosity, you know, they captured a bunch of good players together. And Tempo Storm, I guess, still, they're not competitive, but they're producing content, so that's always good.
They haven't won a tournament in a year. That was a page on a post on Reddit, was that there's not a single member of Tempo Storm who won a major in the past year.
Jeez.
So, you know, they maybe they need to get some new players, but I think they have 5. But so that's good.
Well, there's some I haven't seen in ever, right?
Caldi, yeah, a lot of people haven't seen Caldi. Some people haven't seen other than Eloise and Just Saying, not really.
Gara has made some appearances, but
yep, at DreamHacks he's been.
I don't know why.
Didn't go to DreamHack Montreal because I would have met him. I met Eloise at DreamHack Montreal.
Cool. That must be fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I met some other pros, like you were mentioning, Luminosity Gaming.
Yeah.
They just picked up Muzzy and Frozen, and I met both of them as well. Really, really nice guys. And yeah, that was basically my most recent events in Hearthstone. So,
well, it sounds like fun. It's not exactly uneventful. I'm still trying to get to Legend. I'm still trying to get. So yeah, huzzah, friend! That's awesome.
Well, very good. And what's next? You're gonna, I mean, I guess this season for BlizzCon is done, but we got the next year. Have they announced? They haven't announced anything yet, right? So they're still.
Well, what we expect is that it's going to be the same format. So you go based on points, and you have to do open tournaments and get ladder finishes, and try to get top 128 in order to make it through. Mm-hmm. But that's a good system, except for I mean, with all the controversy that's been going on about last call and people work so hard to get top 8, and yet there's no reward because there's no prizes given out for the tournament except for going to BlizzCon.
Right.
But I guess that's sort of because you get money if you make top 8 at BlizzCon.
Huh.
So that's kind of a reward, but only one person gets to make it, obviously. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll restructure.
I'm sure
some people. Oh, what? Pardon?
They may tweak it some, I would think, but this did give the opportunity to more players, obviously, because a lot of up-and-comers and not well-known names had a chance to participate and actually make it. So
yeah, that's definitely the biggest deal, because they removed invitationals from point systems, which means the pros don't get a huge advantage. The way it was like 2 years ago and a year ago, people like Firebat, people like Amaz would always make it into the BlizzCon tournaments because they were always invited to things like the World Cyber Arena, which is the big tournament in China, and like what other tournaments was there? There's for points a year ago. What's that called? I forget the name of the big tournament that they have, where it's all a bunch of jokes and memes and everything.
Seed Story Cup? Is that what you're thinking?
That used to be giving Seed Story used to be giving points, but now they can't. So really helps out people like me, people like Noblord, who made top 8, even Muzzy didn't get too many invitationals ever.
Right.
Frozen as well. So yeah, players like that, really helps them out in terms of the ability to qualify and go far, show their skill.
Very cool.
So it's good.
Yeah, I think it's a little better than what it was before, so they're improving. And when we think about it being just 2 years, so with the first year you really don't count it too much. It was all invitational, but actually open where everybody could qualify has been 2 years. I think they've done fine, and there's always room for improvement. So we'll see where it all goes. But
they've increased the prize pool, right?
Yes.
Each year.
Yeah.
They could, if the game stays that popular, the amount of money, they could like double the prize pool and spread it out and make it, so more of the people in the tournament or whatnot, make a little something.
Yeah, the way I look at it, right, is that they only put $1 million or $500,000 last year and the year before towards competitive Hearthstone in terms of prizes. This year they put $2 million, but then when you compare that to other Blizzard games like StarCraft, that has, I think it's either $5 or $10 million, where it has literally a quarter of the viewership of Hearthstone on Twitch, and it's getting, we're getting less than half what they get. So I guess sorry.
But did StarCraft go to like making those kind of numbers though right away within the first couple of years it came out?
Well, I wasn't around in 1996.
Yeah,
when
I'm wondering through that. So yeah, 96. So none of this like esports stuff and playing.
Yeah, it didn't exist until 2010.
So I would hope that Blizzard will be stand up and then keep adding money to the prize pool and making the tournaments more worthwhile and interesting as time goes on. Especially if those kind of numbers hold up, it just seems right. I could see him not, wanting to dump tons and tons of more money into the prize pool, being that the game is so new and people can be so fickle and it could drop off, next week. I don't see it happening or anything like that. But
hopefully it doesn't.
hopefully Blizzard will keep adding to the prize pool and it'll keep expanding.
Yeah. Noblord had a...
It's a new game. There's still growing pains that need to be worked out as we go along. But I think there's a lot of smart people in charge of this. I think things should get worked out, hopefully.
Yeah, Noblord had a great article about it on Reddit, where he basically spoke about how open tournaments, like he spent his entire summer playing open tournaments, except none of them offered cash prizes other than like maybe $12. So if Blizzard could put more money into, rewarding players for trying to make their career or at least part-time out of Hearthstone, not only would it encourage more people, but it would let people be slightly more willing to do everything in order to get like top 8, which is incredibly difficult. Players like Muzzy, who get 200 points over the course of the year, or like, how many points do you have? 120. And they spend like 7-8 hours a day minimum just grinding tournaments and grinding ladder, and they barely get a reward except from their team, of course, who pays them. But yeah.
Also,
so hopefully we'll see changes.
We're even paying out more than in our tournaments. Patron tournaments.
True that.
From our support.
As money comes in, we do try and spread the prize pool around.
Give it back. So, speaking about the competitive scene, there was one thing I did want to touch on that I was playing Dragon Priest. Dan, it's back. No, it's not back. But I had like...
I don't believe you.
I had a 3-stack quests of Priest, and I saw VLPS. He posted a Dragon Priest deck, which was basically kind of like a controlly Priest with bookworms and pain and death and all the removal, and then a couple of the dragons, you know, there's some tempo, but a lot of removal. And I started playing a game, what was it, against a druid, right? And I think the first game went, and I beat the guy, and then I queued up again against him, and all is going well. It looks like I'm gonna win the game, but we get around to the turn where he plays Yogg-Saron, right? And it's one of these ridiculous Yogs that clears the board, my board, draws him a bunch of cards, all that stuff. And it had been like a 10 to 11 minute game, right? And it made me think that, okay, I just spent 10, 11 minutes strategizing, trying to outvalue the druid, which is a hard matchup to begin with this crappy dragon deck, making all these what I think are correct plays to try to be in a position where it looks like I'm gonna win. And then this out of nowhere, one card, and we've talked about this before, changes everything. Yeah. And it's like, okay, like the game just started over, or I just lost to this one high roll thing, and it's super annoying. And you know, it happened to me in a tournament, and it happened in the ladder and reminded me of that. So there have been still more calls to do something about Yogg, especially in the competitive scene. I think there were some in the preliminaries where Yogg was the decider.
Monsanto versus Dude 7597, that famous clip.
Yes.
Where he had 5 spells played the whole game.
Yep.
And it was Stand Against Darkness, Soul of the Forest, Maelstrom Portal, Fan of Knives, and Bloodlust. And it cleared the whole zoo board because they all had 2 health. And 2 health is difficult to deal with Druid, for Druid, because you only have the swipe, which deals 1. And then he had an unkillable board, and Monsanto won that game, even though he should not have. That was like the biggest example of Yogg that I've seen in a competitive scene.
See, he must be getting more and just like higher. I haven't come against Yogg, and I don't know how long. It's why I was like kind of surprised when I heard about all this Yogg talk, because I'm like, I haven't played against. Can't remember the last time I've seen anyone play.
You're playing Phase Hunter, Dan. Your games end in turn 7, so you don't even get to 10.
That might have something to do with it, but some of them go a little bit longer.
That's funny. No, I know.
Well, it's a distinct possibility that might have a little bit more to do with it, but
definitely has something to do with it, but
a little.
Anyway, the other thing that I've also run into is the fact that with the introduction of cards like Babbling Book and on top of the Kabbalist Tome that Mages had, as well as when you look at a rogue that has what's the name? Undercity Huckster, Swashbuckler, and Burgle. And then the thing that lowers the cards, the legendary minion.
Ethereal Peddler?
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
I think so, the 5/6 that does that.
I think it's called Ethereal Peddler. I'm not sure.
What it's led is to this scenario where, okay, we have a situation where now I've designed a deck, call it Dragon Priest, that has a set strategy, and I know that he's a rogue, so I kind of know the cards that he has, but because he's playing all these cards that steal cards from my class and get reduced in cost, I no longer have the ability to figure out what I need to be playing around, because in reality, I mean, they can have anything. I was playing the real ladder with Shaman and had somebody steal Halaseal and Lightning Storm. Cards that I don't even have, and they combo me at the Shaman with the thing that I don't even planning on doing, but they did it. And it's like, what? How do you play around this? Another one that also, and Muzzy had a tweet about it, because I was playing against Muzzy. It was all going fine until he played Fandral into Raven Idol, which gave him a Fandral and another Raven Idol. So after I went through the first iteration, he got Fandral again. And this is the second guy that did it with Druid in the week to me. So anyway, with all that being said, I mean, I guess Black Wolf, what do you think? I mean, do you feel like it's getting to the point? Because at some point with all these cards, then you're just like, well, I'm just going to play my cards here and hope they stick, because I don't know. It's either going to be Yogg on turn 12 or 13, and who knows, or some kind of card that I don't know to play around because I don't know that he has it. So the advantage of the meta and all and knowing decks and cards seems to be diminished. But I don't know, Black Wolf, what do you think of all that?
I think the most important thing for Blizzard when they're making cards is that they want to create a lot of cards that, you know, sort of create stories. You know, you had your story about Halazael and Lightning Storm, and then people have, you know, like that Monsanto versus Dude 7597 game from the prelims. That sort of creates a funny story and a funny Reddit post. And I think that's what Blizzard wants more than anything when they're creating these cards. They just want people to be able to share and tell people like these hilarious things that occur. And I don't think they take into regard the competitive factor of Hearthstone. And they don't care as much for the pros or the semi-pros trying to get into these big tournaments, and they look more towards a casual audience and players who just want to have a good time, you know, and see a lot of, like, I guess you could say like a big spark, a big boom whenever they play a card and like something amazing happens. You know, Barnes pulls the Tyrion, or Yogg pulls the Lightning Storm, and like Flame Strike clears a whole board of Death Rattles into like triple Healing Touch, Embrace the Shadows, like type of like situations.
I mean,
so I think the biggest. Oh, keep going.
No, you're right. From a tournament, watching that kind of stuff is really cool, because you're like, okay, here we go. Yogg is gonna cast a bunch of spells, and it's all fun to watch. But from the seat of the competitor, it's like, what the hell? What am I supposed to do? Because there's nothing you can do, right? It's like he either gets it, like you said with the Monsanto thing, or you don't. And then you have situations where even the winners are saying, well, I really didn't deserve that game, you know, it was just luck or Yogg. I heard somebody else say in an interview, yeah, I haven't been practicing that much, I just threw together the three better decks, and some of them had Yogg in it, and that was enough to get far or win a tournament. That just doesn't seem too good for competitive, in my opinion. But
Ecop said that, right? Ecop said that when he won True Silver Championship, which was a European tournament. He's like, oh yeah, I just took the best 5 decks and I won. That's it. Yeah. And like, that shouldn't be the way that you win Hearthstone. It should be like done through thinking and actually putting in time and effort into everything.
Right. And
not just these cards. Like Yogg. That's why I think we need like a ban list or something. Like Yu-Gi-Oh had it, and Magic the Gathering had that, where you ban certain cards out of competitive. But
so that could work.
Yeah.
If it's just if like the community agreed that it was like, okay, these couple of cards are just wrecking tournaments, and so whatever, we banned Yogg. I that something like that might work. It's
well,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, and we've kind of been seeing that recently with like Batstone. If anyone has been reading about that, that's Firebat's new thing, like where he invites a bunch of pros, gets a community ban list with cards like Yogg, Barnes, Fiery War Axe, Call of the Wild. A lot of those cards where you just like, if you draw it, you win, and those get banned out.
So that deck, I forget what it was called, but I played it. I came across it, I guess, once, and that Rogue was playing it, where you play Barnes, but the only other minion in your deck is that 10/10 that pulls out minions or something.
Oh, Yasharge. I think that's what it's called.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I've played against the Hunter deck where that A-Bar made, who's actually also in the top 8 this weekend, and he posted it up on Reddit. It's like you play Barnes and you play Yasharge, and those are your only 2 minions, and then you play all of the broken Hunter spells, and you just win games because you get a good Barnes on turn 4. It pulls the 1/1, which pulls the 10/10, and then it's game over. So, yeah, there's situations like that should just not be happening. It's not very fair.
No, it didn't feel very fair. I was especially when they played Gang Up and made 3 more. I was like, oh, really? So, anyway.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess there's an objective about the broader majority of the people that play Hearthstone that love that Yogg because it's fun. Versus
it makes for good television, I guess.
Yep.
But I mean, if the people that are competitive are gonna end up, dropping out because it's makes trying to play competitively on a I don't know, reliable basis or something impossible, then there is no more tournaments or anything to watch, so what do you do?
Yeah, so, I guess they need to.
It's a kind of a catch-22. They want to. I guess they're going to have to. I mean, plenty of people were watching without the crazy Yogg stuff going on. It does help, but I don't think it's super necessary. People that like Hearthstone are going to want to watch, a good competitive strategized games as well. Well, almost as well as seeing a crazy Yogg thing happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it's the thing that makes it so fun, and the viewership numbers that BlackWolf was quoting have to do with how funny it is, those stories, but then it kind of fights against and that's what makes them money. So at the end of the day, they will continue doing that, but they could do something from a tournament standpoint to try to control it a little bit. But anyway, I guess we can move on from that, but it's an interesting discussion on the state of the game. Okay, BlackWolf, so you've been busy creating. You're kind of an authority on a warrior. You're a specialist of the control warrior archetype. You've written many guides that are very popular. People love those guides. And it seems like there was a new card that came out that inspired you to create something new. So do you want to take us through the journey here on how the inspiration came and what have you come up with here?
Okay, so, well, it'll be the deck we're playing today, which is the Curator Warrior. And some people may have seen it if they follow Noxious on Twitter or on YouTube or on just Twitch. He played it a bit. But basically, this deck was just an idea that I had when I saw Curator being played on the first day it came out, and literally like every class. There was Murloc Paladins playing it, there was Warriors playing it, and Dragon Warrior. There was Shamans playing it, where you could pull the Scarab from it and pull the Azure Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically I thought, how would it play out in Control Warrior? So I tried to test, and I played a couple hundred games with this Curator Warrior, got Legend with that, climbed to like 117 on North American server, but couldn't break into top 100, unfortunately, because it was the last day of the season and people are very competitive. There's a lot of the really, really tough, like long matchups, people playing control decks like Murloc Paladin that beat Control Warrior a good percentage of the time. There was the mirror match, which unfortunately this deck is not very good in, but against aggro and aggressive decks, this deck should work a lot better. So it's It's the Curator Control Warrior.
It is.
It has, yeah. It has a lot of cards that we don't really see in normal Control Warrior, and they're really, really cool, fun cards as well. So obviously you have your 2 executes and your 2 shield slams, which are just basic. You know, they're the most broken cards in the whole entire deck, besides Fiery War Axe, of course. But
which is the next card.
Yeah, all the warrior early game is OP and completely broken. But basically, these cards, they probably need nerfs, but they're really strong. And they're in the deck because they can just remove anything that's on your opponent's board. Comes in handy a lot. And so the next card is 2 times Fiery War Axe. You know, just really, really strong. Probably the second best card in the entire game, besides Innervate. And it's just really good, killing off all the little minions and the aggressive cards. And there's no reason to not have 2 of it in Warrior. Okay, the next card is the Jeweled Scarab. This card is really good because it's a beast, which means it gets pulled with Curator. It gives you cards like Ravaging Ghoul and Frothing Berserker, Shield Block Bash, which are really good for Control Warrior. So I've really been liking it over over Acolyte of Pain, which is basically what it's been replacing. It's really overperformed in this deck. Next is Revenge. 2 Revenge, 2 Slam, 2 Bash. I'll put these all in the same category because they're all very similar. They're all just to help against aggressive decks. Really strong at shutting down the aggro, whether it be early game, mid game, or even up until the late game. Sometimes they're very helpful. So I wouldn't recommend not running these cards in Control Warrior. Next card is a card released in the Old Gods expansion. It's Ravaging Ghoul, which is really, really strong as well.
Yeah, that's crazy card.
Yeah, it's played in almost every single warrior. There's the Dragon Warrior, which plays it. There's the Patron Warrior, which has it. The Combo Warrior and the Control Warrior. They all have this card because it's so broken, and it's really good at dealing with everything. It also activates Execute, and just helps out with dealing 2 damage with the Revenge on turn 5, which is good against Zoo, and good against a lot of other decks as well. Next is the Shield Block. It's good at gaining back all the health you lose from cards like Fiery War Axe and Gore Howl, and it also combos well with the Shield Slam because you can kill a big minion. Just really strong card. If you don't want to cycle it, and like some matchups you want to not draw any cards, which means you can just play it with the Elise Starseeker, and it'll just turn it into a legendary in the late game. So really good as well. Also mandatory, I'd say, these days for Control Warrior. Up next is the Bloodhoof Brave, which I feel like used to be a lot more important in Control Warrior, but it sort of died off a little bit. But I have it in this list because we're looking to get into the late game with the Curator and with the Corrupted Seer, which I'll talk about after. And it just combos well with a lot of these cards, and it's been really, really doing well. And then the next card is probably the best control card in the entire game, the Elise Starseeker. It's so good at just turning everything that's complete garbage against like Priest and Warrior into legendaries.
That's right.
Yep, and it's probably a bit too strong, and it's just very, very good in the late game, and it's your only chance to beat the mirror matchup. And yeah, so definitely play that as well in all your Control Warrior. So next is Brawl. Brawl has been a part of Hearthstone since the beginning, and I don't think people will be cutting it anytime soon, because against decks like Zoo and even like Mid-Range Shaman and even against some of the control decks like Control Priest, it's really strong because you don't even need to take damage from the minions. Instead of like take cards like Fiery War Axe, right, where you're dealing damage to yourself in exchange for destroying minions, you're not going to be taking damage with Brawl, and most of the time you're going to be destroying a lot of big threats. Okay, next card in the list is probably the most interesting one of all, and I think a lot of people who I showed the deck to said that this card was complete garbage and had no place in Warrior or any deck. And it's the Corrupted Seer, which is a 6-mana 2/3, deal 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions. That's a battle cry, and it's been really doing well, especially against Shaman, where it clears off all the totems. Against Hunter, where it kills off part of the Call of the Wild. You can combo it with like Slam, you can combo it with Ravaging Ghoul, you can combo it with Fiery War Axe. And it also has the advantage of being a Murloc, so it gets pulled by the Curator. And the Curator always gives you an advantage of drawing into 1 heal, 1 tech card, and 1 board clear. So I really like this card in the deck.
Is it kind of like a Baron Geddon, sort of? Is that kind of the idea to do that role?
People were asking me why I wasn't running Baron Geddon if I have this card in the deck, and it's mostly because you have the 2 7-drops already, which is too many for Warrior, and also because this comes out a turn earlier. I found it to be really good against a lot of aggressive decks. Well, and hopefully today we'll see it shine, but we'll have to see on that.
And the Curator, right, obviously is something that makes it better because it's a card draw most of the time. So
yeah.
All right, very cool. Keep going.
So Justicar is the next card, and it really lets you draw out the game as long as you want, pretty much. It's probably the card that has caused some of the most pain out of a lot of Hearthstone players because the games go for a long time. A lot of people really hate that. It could go up to like 25 turns sometimes because back and forth with this card, just pressing the 4 armor and gain. I've had 90 armor in the Control Warrior Mirror match and have had games go up to 15 fatigue.
Oh my god.
Pretty nuts. And
okay, well, if we get a game like that, we might just get one in tonight.
This is not a fast deck, is what you're saying.
Yep. It is slow as ice.
This isn't the deck you're playing the last night of Ladder, trying to make Legend.
Oh, trying to make Legend. I think it's good to climb in Legend because it's more about having a good win rate. This deck gets you a good win rate, especially in comparison to decks like Zoo or Aggro Shaman. It's a lot more focused on skill instead of luck. You have to be good at it in order to get the high win percentages a lot of the time.
All right.
And, okay, so we have a couple more cards to cover in our list.
Right.
Sylvanas. It's pretty much mandatory in Control Warrior. It deals with all the enemy board. They could ignore it, but then they get punished by Brawl. They trade into it. They could get unlucky, and we could get a good steal and win the game. So just really strong.
So yep. Sylvanas is almost like Lotheb was. You know, if you're like, what? I need another Sylvanas. Yeah, I'll just put that in here.
Yep. It's
so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of those cards that always gets debated whether or not it's on the edge of getting a nerf from the classic set because it's so strong. But Sylvanas already got 2 nerfs in the history of Hearthstone, one in alpha and one in beta. So
remember, the original was 5, or was that the second version?
The second, it was originally a 6-mana 6/7 that summoned 3 skeletons that were 3/3 randomly across the board. It was really dumb design, so they completely overhauled it. That was an alpha. I looked at some old videos of Hearthstone and I saw that, and it was like it was really cool, but they had to change it because it was too luck based into the version that was 5 mana.
Right.
And it was 5 mana 5/5, so it was already strong, but then it had the insane death rattle. So Blizzard decided at the end of beta that they would make it into 6 mana, and that's where it's probably going to stick till the end of Hearthstone, whenever that may be. But yeah, just really strong. So the next card on our list is the Gorehowl, and this is a card a lot like Justicar. It lets you like go to the late game. It literally clears off 7 minions most of the time when the game goes past turn 10, I'd say. It clears so many different things throughout the course of it. You'll have to be playing this card if you want to beat Midrange Shaman or beat the Control Warrior Mirror Match or Priests, because it gives you so much value. Okay, the next card is the card that is the reason we play the deck. It's the Curator, and it's obviously where the deck also gets its name from. It's really, really... It's probably the most interesting card in all of the Karazhan expansion, because you could either choose to play like 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, 1 Murloc, and then have a chance of really high value, or you could focus your entire deck around it. I didn't do that as much, even though I do have the Corrupted Seer and the Jeweled Scarab. But some people choose to like really focus. Some of those new Murloc Paladin lists do that, where you play like double Azure Drake and like double Kodo, and all the Murlocs, of course, and you just get really high value from it. This deck, most of the time, you're pulling 1 to 3. Well, obviously, you're going to be pulling 1 to 3, but I mean, it's not always, it's almost never 0, and very rarely, like 1 out of 20 times, I'd say, you get all 3. So, really good card. I love the fact that it promotes good deck design, a lot like Reno Jackson. You know, it promotes playing a specific deck where it's built with this idea in mind of having these different archetypes in it, like the Dragon Murloc Beast. Okay, so the last 2 cards on our list are Grom and Alexstrasza. These 2 cards are basically finishers most of the time, and they really help to close out the game. And also, if you're in a bad situation, you can play both of them to either clear the board or heal yourself, in the case of Alexstrasza. Really, really strong. Alexstrasza gets pulled by Curator as the dragon, and so always draws you into a heal. And yeah, just really strong. So that's it for the deck. And
all right, so this guy...
Okay.
You can start queuing up then, if you want.
Okay, before we queue up, I don't mean to derail things, but there's something I want to touch on before we get into playing the matches. I should have done this earlier, but Coin Concede just had their 50th episode, and they had an awesome guest. They had this professional poker player on, Daniel Negrano.
Daniel Negrano.
Okay, yeah. He was a really good listen, interesting interview. He plays Hearthstone, and also they have a contest going. He talks about how to enter it and stuff at the beginning of the podcast, even if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, but you should, because it was really good. I wanted to mention that before we got too far. I should have done it at the top of the show.
Yep.
But yeah, check that out, everybody. Enter the contest. They're giving away some cool stuff. So, anyway, sorry. Now, shall Curator... Oh, wrong. I'm getting there, everybody.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
So what I was going to ask
Hunter.
while you queue up is, does it play basically like Control Warrior? Same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. It's there's just some specific things that are like a little bit different, but it's pretty much just like regular Control Warrior. You know, clear the board, get to the late game.
Yep. Okay.
Win. Maybe win.
Don't get run over.
We shall see.
All you need to play a good Control Warrior is like Fiery War Axe, Execute, Shield Slam, and as long as you have those, you have full control of the game, and you can play whatever you want.
Okay, well, I push the button, and I'm on the coin this turn. And I open up drawing the Justicar True Heart, Elise Starseeker, the Shield Block, and the Slam. So, Matt, do we keep... We don't want Justicar yet, do we?
So the thing against Hunter is that Justicar is one of our best cards. It's really, really strong because except against the mid-range Hunter.
15 seconds.
We got 50. Okay, so keep Slam, Elise, and Justicar. Toss the shield block.
Okay.
And I'll explain it afterwards because we were running out of time there.
We get Gorehowl.
So we obviously keep Slam to deal with all the 3/2s, for example, King Zealot, Huge Toad, and we keep Elise to just deal with all of the 3/3s and cards from Animal Companion. They combo well with, like, she hits into stuff like with Slam, with War Axe, whatever, against Hunter, really, really strong. And we keep Justicar because it's pretty much always a keep if we have one or two other really good cards in our hand already. So because we have the Slam and Elise, we choose to keep that.
Yeah,
okay. I drew a Shield Slam. I'm on the coin. I don't seem like there's anything I can play right now. So I got Shield Slam, the coin, Justicar True Heart, Elise Starseeker, Gorehowl, and Slam, and that is my turn.
So if you think about Dan, normally in Face Hunter you want a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop. This doesn't even have a 1-drop. This doesn't have a 2-drop. Well,
this is like completely opposite of what I've been playing.
This is all about removing and reacting. You don't have to be the proactive deck here.
It doesn't seem like I got anything I'm going to play just yet. I drew a shield block. So do I just go ahead and armor up and pass, or do we point shield block?
Armor pass, and then next turn we'll see what he plays. Depending on if it's a Huffer, we'll probably shield slam it. Not shield slam it.
I armored up, so I still got it's the shield block, shield slam, coin, Justicar, Elise, Gorehowl, and Slam in my hand.
Oh, and we should mention the Hunter on his turn 2 played a tracking, and he probably was looking for a Highmane or Call of the Wild or something.
Yeah, I never played tracking until later in the game, but
yeah.
Right, Fred, you want to give us the rundown on what our Hunter friend's doing?
Yeah, so he played Fiery Bat and Hero Power Face. That was his turn. Turn 3. I wonder what he tracked for.
A slow start.
I don't know. On my turn, I drew Bash. So do we go ahead and play Shield Block, or?
Here I would play Elise because we're probably going to end up playing Shield Block and Shield Slam. So this helps the board. Maybe he plays the Eagle Hornbow and kills it off for us, in which case we'll play Shield Block. But we shall see.
There's the animation I was talking about. See? I like it.
I'm scared about this game because when they don't have the crazy start, that means they have the crazy finish.
Call of the Wild is in hand. The Savannah Highmane is in hand. All that stuff. Alright, so he did play the Eagle Hornbow and traded the Fiery Bat in, setting himself to 27 and us to 29. Nothing on the board.
So, and I drew a fiery. I draw a fiery War Axe. So do I play that and and armor up?
Yeah.
Do we go ahead and swing with the axe once, or?
Nope.
The only time we would ever swing would be against other warriors, and it would only be if we suspect that they're playing the Harrison Jones, and even then it's debatable whether or not. But the Hunters don't usually play it. Maybe he has a crazy tech choice. Oh god, here we go.
Barnes?
The Hunter drew Barnes, and it's going to get...
Of course.
Of course.
Savannah Highmane.
Barnes into Highmane.
Remember how I was talking before about the game-winning RNG and all that stuff that wins games just because you get the lucky 1 in 20 or 2 in 20?
I bet you he has the other one, which would make it even more ridiculous in the hand.
Okay, so we drew Gromosh, which we're not going to play right away.
What do we do about this?
We got a Bash, a Shield Block,
So we're going to start by slamming the Barnes. because we're gonna slam and then see what we top deck.
We draw the Curator.
Okay. That's going to come in handy, actually, because we're going to get full value. Okay, so here we just hit Barnes and hero power, and I'll explain it during our opponent's turn, why we hero power instead
hero
of playing.
power. In my hand look, I got the Curator, Grommash, Bash, Shield Block, Shield Slam, Just a Car, and Gore Howl.
Alright, turn 6 for Hunter. Let's see. Go ahead.
The reason we chose to hero power instead of shield block there is because we know that he has the high main and it's really good against it.
Well,
this guy is very lucky.
He played a Huffer and went face with everything, including the weapon, setting us down to 20.
Yep, I draw Jeweled Scarab.
Okay. This is a bit of a weird turn. So we're definitely going to be playing the Curator next turn, which is going to pull us into 3 different cards. So we have to sort of be conscientious about that fact and sort of think through. We have 8 cards in our hand right now, and we can reduce to 7, which means next turn we'll probably be making ourselves overdraw. Okay. So the first thing I would do is play the Scarab, the Jeweled Scarab, which we drew off the top, which will give us 3 choices.
We got Blood Knight, Bash, and
Slithered Swarmer, which is a card no one. Okay, so we pick the Bash here, and we use Bash on the Huffer.
And is that it?
Yeah, and we pass the turn.
Okay. So he still has the 1/1 high main. 7 mana, 6 cards, 27 health for him. Let's see what he decides to do here. Thinking about it. Pulls a card of the middle. It's an Infested Wolf. And face with the Steady Shot, which is their hero power, and the high main, setting us down to 20. Ooh. Revenge.
We draw Revenge. So I have Revenge, the Curator, Grommash, Bash, Shield Block, Shield Slam, just Gore Howl. What do you think, Chief?
Still Curator.
Okay, so this is gonna be a weird play, right? Because we're gonna end up burning a card on this play, but Curator is 100% the play because we need the Corrupted Seer in order to answer his next turn Call of the Wild. And we're going to draw into that automatically. This is like one of the situations where Curator draws 3 cards, and it's just absolutely insane. So we get the Jeweled Scarab, the Alexstrasza, and the Corrupted Seer. And now we have to think about what we want to do with this War Axe and Jeweled Scarab on his 1/1 high main and his 3/3 Infested Wolf.
So we're thinking Call of the Wild's coming. That's the thing, right?
Yep.
What are we doing?
Okay, War Axe into the 3/3 and kill a 1/1.
The spider. Yeah.
Okay. We made it in time, right on the rope.
Yeah. So he'll comes probably Call of the Wild normally, and no, it's a skill command on the Curator.
Skill command.
The 1/1 takes out the Curator. He has a Houndmaster on the high main. We burn a Bash, but we got another one, so okay, and we're down to 14. He's got a 4/3 Houndmaster and a 3/3 high main. So
this is one of the most interesting plays because I'm not sure whether or not we want to bash our own face, shield slam the 3/3 and play Revenge, or if we just want to do a regular play.
Let's do something regular.
You want to do the cool play?
I think the cool play is correct, actually.
All right, well, what are we doing?
Okay, so we bash our own face.
Really?
Okay, I'm serious about this, Dan. This is not a joke.
Bash.
No. Bash.
All right,
Shield
I bashed
slam.
my own face.
Shield slam on the 3/3 high main.
Shield Slam.
The high main.
The high main. Quick, what are we doing?
Oh, Dan, that was the Houndmaster. Okay.
Oh, no. My fault.
That's sort of okay. So play the Jeweled Scarab now.
Yeah.
We might not have time.
And pick
Pick Earthen.
Earthen Ring Farseer and armor up.
Hero power.
Ooh.
Oh, we missed it. Okay.
Yeah, so you had to kill the High Main to then do Revenge. And
Okay,
now the real High
yeah.
Main comes down. And the hero
Oh.
power. Well, this went south quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep everything straight, but everything's happening. Okay. What do we try and do now? I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
so well, you have to play the shield block first
Shield block.
because we need to find second shield slam.
That's not it.
That's not it. So we have to play the map to the Golden Monkey, which is the 2 mana shuffle the card and then
Draw a card.
draw.
Brawl.
That's not it either.
Whew. Jeez. Do we have to,
Okay, so just play the Earthen Ring Farseer on your own face.
oh man. And that's it, right? Or,
Yep. And we're probably dead.
yeah. He's got 9 damage, 11 with hero power.
Call the Wild is lethal. So many outs. Kill command.
You used 1 already. It's the Kindly Grandmother. Steady Shot. Face. With everything. Quick
And
Shot.
just be admin.
Oh,
Okay.
it's just BM and Quick Shot. Okay, well we
So we're dead.
yeah, that was a mess. We messed up the play there. So
Yeah, so I was getting so confused. I didn't even know what I was.
yeah, so when you bash the High Main, it would have spawned the 2/2s. The Revenge.
I saw a 4/3 and I thought I had to get rid of the 4/3.
the Revenge.
I wasn't even thinking about names. I just saw a 4/3 and said, okay, that needs to go.
The Revenge would clear all 3 minions after that hit. So, all right.
Oh, sorry everybody. Yeah, there's no way I could play this deck on my own.
It's very tough.
Yep.
Sometimes those turns get a bit complicated with that's not really a play you see too often. Bash.
To
on
bash your own
and
face
then-
to activate the Revenge. Yep.
Yeah, I was still trying to process what we were doing there, and then like kill something. I saw 4/3. I'm like, okay, that goes. Anyway, so we'll try this again. I draw a Jeweled Scarab, a Slam, and a Ravaging Ghoul out the gate.
Against a warrior. So we're not going to keep any of these cards because they're not particularly strong against warrior. We're looking more for the Fiery War Axe and the Shield Block, Shield Slam.
Yeah, of course we get Revenge, Gore Howl, and Elise.
We can
Those
still
are going to
win
be
with the
really
Sand.
useful.
Elise? Well, I don't know in this matchup.
Alright, I draw a Slam, and there's nothing I can do, so end the turn.
If this is a Control Warrior Mirror match, it's going to be very fun. Just
Draw a Shield Slam, still nothing I can do, so I have Shield Slam. Slam, Elise, Gore Howl, and Revenge, and I armor up.
Yep. This is where we can take a break, take a sip of water, stretch out the legs.
oh, it is the Dragon Warrior.
How
Okay.
is this against that? Is it okay?
It's 50-50
50-50?
because the Curator was added into their deck where they make sure that they don't run out of steam if they draw it. So it's really close to like 50-50, I'd say. But maybe at rank 10, these players aren't so good or slightly
So what are we
less,
doing?
So this turn we're just going to hero power.
Alright. So I'm going to hero power. We got execute, shield slam, release, score howl, revenge in the hand.
Fierce Monkey comes down after Fairy Dragon. So.
And I take 3 points of damage from Fairy Dragon. I draw a bash.
So we're just gonna play Elise this turn because he's probably gonna coin the 5/4 Blackwing Corruptor and hit into it with the monkey. He's gonna probably hit into the Elise. So we're just gonna revenge and bash. Let's see if that's exactly what he's gonna do. If not, he might play a Twilight Guardian.
Let's see here. A monkey and the dragon. And Fiery War Axe comes down. He's gonna hit Elise with it, it looks like. Face with Fairy Dragon and monkey.
That's a bad play.
And wait, Alexstrasza's champion activated, also face. We're down to 22.
We draw the Bloodhoof Brave.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is play the slam on the 3/4 Fierce Monkey. And we'll see what we draw first.
A Curator.
Curator.
Okay, so and now we're gonna play bash on it, and we're gonna kill the Fairy Dragon.
Wait, bash on the monkey? Right?
Yeah, because we want to get rid of the thing that can't be targeted by spells and hero power.
And then Elise into the Fairy Dragon, the 3/2 glowing thing. Yep. Alright.
Okay, that's what I do.
Our turn.
Alright, so he's left with Alexstrasza's champion and Fiery War Axe. He's at 27, and we're at 25 effectively. Let's see here.
Here's where the game gets very difficult because they have their medium-sized threats that just keep coming.
So Corcoran Elite comes in. We get hit for 7. And that's the turn. We're down to 18.
Draw a shield block. We got shield block, Curator, Bloodhoof Brave, execute, shield slam, score howl, and revenge.
So here we'll just play the Bloodhoof Brave because we kind of want him to set us below 12, and we want him to get out the what's it called?
And then
Draconiid Crusher.
Draconid Crusher, yeah. It's hero power.
Hero power.
Yeah.
Do we hero power then?
Yeah, we hero power. Next turn we're almost. If he doesn't play anything, we'll play the Curator, but we'll have to see.
You think the Draconid Crusher is coming? Probably. We'll see.
Yeah, he can hit. Oh well, if he has execute, he can coin, execute, hit face, hit face.
Alright, so he's using Alexstrasza's champion, the Brave, then takes 5 to the face, then he's coining something else.
Oh, he's coining Curator.
He's coining his
Oh
Curator.
god.
And he
Which
draws 1,
3,
2, 3 cards. What a mess.
It is such a OP card. It makes the matchup so tough.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna play our own Curator here because we need the cards, or else we're gonna lose no matter what.
So we get a Scarab, an Alexstrasza, and a Corrupted Seer. We're down to 16.
We're at 16.
He's at 22, has a sizable board. Let's see. Could we die to execute shenanigans? Okay, doesn't seem to have it. Swings into Curator with the face, takes 4. Alexstrasza finishes off the Curator. He's down to 18, but has 2 4-attack minions on the board. And he's looking to put some more damage into it. Alright, he plays an Azure Drake. And hits us for 8 in the face. Wow. Oof.
This deck is really strong when it draws well. That's what I hate about the Dragon Warrior.
So is there anything we can do?
So we play shield block first.
You get a Ravaging Ghoul.
Okay, so we're gonna play the Revenge, and we're gonna Shield Slam. We're gonna Shield Slam and execute both of those because we can't take any more damage, and we basically hope that his hand is bad at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't have Dromage in a Rage or something crazy like that. Alright, we're down to 13. He's at 18 with a Fiery War Axe. And a handful
Are we going to Alexstrasza ourselves next?
Got a handful of stuff. Let's see what he does. It's another Azure Drake. And a Frothing Berserker. Okay.
You draw a Fiery War Axe.
Jeez.
So do we Alexstrasza ourselves, or are we doing something else?
What
now?
I think we have to play the Jeweled Scarab first, because we need to find something that can deal, like a bash.
We get a
That's
Revenging
no help.
Ghoul, Frothing Berserker, and
Another Ghoul.
So we have to pick the second Ghoul, the Ravaging Ghoul. And now we... Okay, equip Gorehowl and kill the 2/4. It's kind of a risky play, but it's like the only chance I see of us winning this game.
Yeah, we're down to 11. He's showing 7. So a Corcoran, a Grommash would win the game. And he has a million cards, so it's likely that it will happen here. He's going
Okay,
face.
I guess.
So he's... Oh, no. He phased one and faded the other. Oh, okay. Ragnaros also would do it.
Okay.
So this was just... he drew too well for us.
okay, well, I guess we can try one more.
Yep. Hopefully we get a win, because my track record on HearthCoach was really good up until...
Oh, man.
Well,
last-
that first game was probably definitely my fault. I definitely screwed that one up.
It has been a bit of a interesting night to record with the
Yeah.
streaming problems that doesn't seem to be working still. The DDoS again. Is this the same guy? No.
No.
Another warrior though.
Okay, so we get Jeweled Scarab, Justicar, Shield Slam, and Execute. What are we doing here, Chief?
So the only card we're going to keep is the Justicar, because it's really strong against every type of warrior, gets you a lot of value into the late game, and it's great when you have coin against priest and warriors. I usually keep it.
So I get a Shield Block, a Slam, and a Revenge in my hand.
We are not drawing the War Axe these games. It's
Dan,
so bad.
You don't know how to play
of course. Welcome to my world.
Dan.
Normally on HearthCoach I draw the War Axe. You know, we get all the good curves, and now this time, nothing.
You're trying to
I was on a
showcase.
bit of a downswing before I logged on. I guess my downswing has continued.
All
I
right.
draw a
He
bash,
passed. He passed on turn 1. The warrior opponent.
and I guess we're getting ready to pass too. I got a bash, coin, revenge. I'm just a car, and a shield block.
So we just passed the turn. Yep. Let's see if he is the Dragon Warrior. No sign so far.
He armor up and pass. So it may be the other
I think that's what we're doing because I drew a shield slam. Same hand, nothing to do. Armor up. That's my turn.
Alright, he plays shield block. So he's just tanking himself. Must be the more control-y style.
Well, there's my other execute. Or, no, and execute to go with the shield slam and the bash and the revenge and the slam. And
you ever shield block here or you don't? I don't think so.
No, we don't. Unlike him, we're not going to make the mistake of cycling in the mirror matchup. Or if he's combo warrior, then we probably win because this hand is just unstoppable against combo warriors. So we just hero power here.
Alright, armoring up. Ending my turn. Collecting cards.
Alright, he has 7 cards, 7 armor, 4 mana. And armor up from his end. And a emote.
Okay, so same thing, just hero power. This is basically going to be the entire game.
Okay, I drew a Gromosh, and my hand's still the same. I'm going to hero a power and end my turn.
Alright.
So what are we in a game of chicken or something?
Basically.
Are we going to adjust the card next turn?
Yeah, we're going to coin the Just a card.
Let's see who's going to blink first here. He armored up and passed, so.
Coin Justicar. So we are now basically on the attack because we did something first. So we're going to make him get the War Axe, get the Bash, whatever he needs to just kill this. If he doesn't have his own Justicar, he probably loses.
He slams.
So he's going to cool. Which means he's going to forego an armor if he does that.
Oh, wow.
So it's the combo warrior then. Okay, we win. Good.
Alright, guys, we're looking at 43 health. Okay, so we draw Ellie.
Elise
Starseeker. We're at 6 mana.
Okay, so the choice here is between Slam and Bash on it because we want to make sure we armor up every turn while clearing all of their minions. That's just the key to winning the matchup because you don't want your opponent to cycle cards too fast, or else they get the big battle rages, which leads them into Emperor Thorzen, which leads them into killing.
Are we worried about drawing the card?
This turn we're not going to play the shield block. We're going to play the I'd say the bash on it, which is the 4th card in our hand.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are.
Okay, bash on the Cruel Taskmaster. We're going to be at 43 health. He is also at 43
Do we
health.
armor up?
Yes, armor up every turn after this. It's the idea.
Unless he ends up being a control warrior with Cruel Task, but that'd be weird. Should be combo warrior. Oh!
Grim Patron. Wild Pyromancer. Inner Rage. So 1 patron, 2 patrons, 3 patrons, 4 patrons. Okay. 4 patrons on the
Ravaging
board.
Ghoul.
And, okay. We get a ghoul. So it is Grim Patron, of all things.
We're going to, there's no way of clearing all of these in our hand. We need to find Brawl or something. Unfortunately, we can't play it even if we shield block. But, so I think we have to play shield block first. It's, like, really important that we try to find something to deal with this board really soon.
Sylvanas is not it, I would assume.
Okay, so we're going to use Slam on the 3/2 Grim Patron. It's the one to...
Oh, the
the 3/2
Patron.
Yeah, Grim Patron.
And we're going to hero power.
Hero power.
Got it.
Okay.
Hopefully he's not Blood Warrior Patron, which is that new deck that Raynad made.
He's made some attempts at the Blood Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're about to take, let's see, 6, 11, 14 at least. And whatever.
What now?
He's thinking about playing something. Well, he's hitting with a 1 health. Nope, he's hitting with everything. And then playing a... Not sure. He's in a Fire War Axe. And...
Maybe a Battle Rage. Could be...
Battle
Battle
Rage.
Rage.
Or 2 cards.
He did that in the wrong order.
Now it's gonna explode. It kills 2 of his things, but it spawns 2 fresh Grim Patrons. And armor up from him to 45 health. And 4 Grim Patrons and a Fiery War Axe on the board. Ooh.
We draw Corrupted Seer.
Unfortunately, it's not useful in this matchup until all of his patrons are 3-2. So it's only one play, and it's to play Sylvanas because we need to find something to contest the board. And then Hero Power.
Armor up. Tank up, I should say. Press that button.
So, our hand kind of sucks against this deck. If it was any other type of warrior, it would have been good. But it just so happened that we don't draw the War Axe, we don't draw Brawls, I don't know. Something's going on tonight. Maybe it's a curse.
It's the Dan.
Yeah.
We're very familiar with it here.
It's uncanny.
Alright, let's see what happens. He's thinking about his attacks here.
You know, the last 2 times I was on HearthCoach, all of my decks were more tempo-based. This one's more control-based. And now we're losing to all of these slightly more aggressive decks. So
Commanding
maybe
Shout, he
I
hits
should only bring you tempo.
1 patron,
That's just wrong.
Oh,
2
God.
patrons. Sylvanas is down. We take a 3-1.
And we take the worst one.
Oh, it loses the Commanding Shout. That's crazy.
It does.
Oh.
It used to not do that. They fixed that a couple patches ago.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's
This
crazy.
is not going well, but
Hey, we may draw Brawl here. Let's see. Off the top.
Need a
There
brawl.
it is.
Hey.
Okay, we draw a Brawl.
Oh, hold on. Do we play anything or just Brawl?
yeah, we just brawl. We're gonna shield slam whatever lives,
Okay.
or unless it's the 3-1 patron, in which case we'll just ghoul. But it's only a 1 in 5 chance that a 3-1
So
lives.
kind of explain what just happened there with those real quick.
So he,
With what?
he commanding shouted, so the patrons are immune. He hit 1 into Sylvanas. It spawned a new one. Hit the
No,
other
they're not.
one.
They're not immune. They just can't go below 1 life.
Yeah, I guess so. So, but they can
Yeah.
spawn others when they take
Right.
damage. And then
Right.
it stole a 3-1. He used his War Axe on it, and then he kept whatever it was, 5 Grim Patrons. Yeah.
So we're gonna shield slam this last one.
yeah,
After we.
we
brawl.
have to.
And armor up, right?
And armor. Now we basically hope that he's not playing the Arcane Giants list, where you play Arcane Giant, Charge, Blood Warriors, Faceless Manipulator.
And kill us. Alright,
And
Loot
kill us.
Hoarder, Acolyte of Pain. Acolyte of Pain.
Ooh, can we overdraw him? Yes, we can. I think we should do that. Mostly just for the walls, but there's some merit to it. We can okay, so he's at 6 cards. He has 1, 2, 3 minimum draws on board, but we can give him 6 draws, 7 draws, which means he overdraws 3, and we make him hit fatigue faster. And my guess is that's actually the play, because we also get to
So
armor
what,
up.
how do we do
It's
that?
Okay.
Ghoul
Okay.
Revenge, right?
Or no, it's Revenge Ghoul, because we don't want the ghouls to take damage.
Oh, you're right. Revenge.
Yeah.
And then Ghoul.
Revenge, Ghoul, Ravaging Ghoul.
Hang on. Ravaging Ghoul's next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravaging Ghoul.
And then the other Ravaging Ghoul.
And now the other Ravaging Ghoul.
Okay, and now he burns his Ravaging Ghoul.
A charge. And a
Okay.
shield block.
Yes, okay. And now we hear Power Dan. This is really good situation.
And he burns one more. A slam. That's not...
Okay, so the charge was the important one. That's the thing that we were looking for.
Yeah.
And we were looking for him to hit fatigue way earlier. Now he hits fatigue in 4 turns. He's at 4 cards left, 10 in his hand.
We have 15. We
Plays
still
the
got
Wild
half.
Pyromancer.
Yeah, he plays Wild Pyro. Gonna continue to cycle. Oh, Blood to Ichor.
Okay, he's gonna Commanding Shout, I guess.
He can't Battle Rage though. That's...
That'd be a stupid play.
Alright.
Unless he plays Double Charge.
A Grim Patron.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Inner Rage. Everything's clear but the Patron. So he gets 4 Patrons again. Okay. And to the face with the War Axe he goes.
We draw a second brawl. We just auto-win the game. He has his last 10 cards.
Oh,
I know
War
him.
Axe. Wait a second.
Okay.
We could clear now, right?
What do we do here?
Now the question is, do we want to clear? I know that might sound weird,
Yeah.
but if we use our second Shield Slam, he has double Arcane Giant, Gramash, he has Blood Warrior, and he has double Execute left. Those are basically, and Slam, like it's like a couple other weird cards, Whirlwind.
He burned
So we
the
have to
slam,
keep
so
that
I don't
in
know if he
mind.
has another one, but yes. Rampage, if it's the Worgen, I don't know. Okay. You call it, man. I'm not gonna... I'll let you think about it.
Okay, so what I would do is play Fiery War Axe,
Okay.
kill the 3/3 Patron on the right side, or it could be either one, but the 3/3. Play Grom,
Gramash?
and then and then kill the other 3/3 Patron, the one
The
right
one
in the middle.
yes.
Okay, now he's going to be forced to execute this, and he doesn't have... I don't think he has any Patron activators left, because he used second Inner Rage. He used,
Oh, there's Blood to Ichor number 2, I guess. There's Commanding Shout again. He's
which
cycling
means he
still.
chooses to cycle. Does that spawn more Patrons? I don't think it does.
Well,
Nope,
it
it does
could.
not.
One more, right?
The other one will,
Yeah.
because it can take one.
Does it?
Yes.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
how
no,
it...
it will. No, it's
Okay.
gonna.
I've never actually seen Commanding Shout and Patron since
It
the
just
old...
can't go below 1.
Yeah,
the other one was at
he's
1.
taking 1 damage, so you get 1 for sure. And a Ghoul gets him 1 more. And Fiery War Axe into the face. Okay. All right. Brawl. Do we brawl or we don't want to brawl?
I mean, we were going to win the game anyway, but yeah, we brawl.
Kill whatever play Elise, I suppose? Or not even?
I'd armor because we have Shield Slam in our hand. Okay, so we hit this and we armor up.
Okay.
So his last, what is it, 7 cards? 7 cards. Are double Execute, Blood Taker, Grom, Arcane Giant,
There's Arcane Giant for 4.
maybe he plays double Arcane Giant,
And Faceless Manipulator for 5. That's it.
and that's the game.
Yeah, you can clear these 2.
Okay, so the play is Corrupted Seer,
Yep. Execute.
Execute 1,
Shield
Armor up,
And Shield Slam the other.
Shield Slam the other. We're at 37 health. He has had 5 cards left in his entire deck. He's hit fatigue. We have 12 cards left in our
He has
deck.
another Arcane Giant. We could deal with it with
and a
Warhound.
Grom.
There's
And
Blood
he has a
Taker.
Grom. But it's fine because
There's Arcane Giant.
we're not going to take damage fast enough.
And he's executing the Seer. Well, we do need to deal with the Giant.
Okay, so the play is Elise and then War Axe, Hero Power, hit the 2/2.
Elise.
War
Fiery
Axe.
War Axe.
So we're at 1 card in our hand,
Armor.
and it's Gore Howl. So we should win, unless the last two cards are exactly Slam Grom, in which case I haven't done the math yet. Let's say we top deck blanks every turn.
No,
I mean, we have no blanks left in our deck. There's all good draws.
I think a slam was burned, so I don't think so. All right, so he just hit us in the face. Our armor up with that giant. There's bash.
Okay. So we're gonna hit double hit into the arcane giant and then bash it, and then hero power.
Face, Elise, and bash.
Yeah. So Dan,
okay,
you put your Elise. And then bash, and that should be it.
Armor up.
Hero power. Yep.
What's left?
I think it's execute and groan. So that's it, because we heal for 4 every turn.
He's dead.
All right, we won.
That was a control warrior game.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's a grueling.
That was something else. We'll call that good.
Yep.
Okay. We did go negative today, but the other times we went really, really positive. So I guess that was good.
That first game was probably, well, I don't know if we could have won. Did that? We might have.
I think it was probably winnable in some. Yeah, it probably. It's tough to tell because he had a lot of damage in his hand. So, but we did have Justicar.
The Hunter game.
So I'll have to review that when if this comes up on YouTube, or if I listen to the podcast, I'll listen and see if that was at all winnable, depending on plays and whatever. But I'll review that and see if it was.
Yeah, was just so flummoxed by everything that was happening, and we were running out of time, and I just started. Anyway, I've apologized and explained enough.
Yep. No, it's all good, man. It happens. Even in a legit game, it could happen without all the coaching and the voices and all the stuff that's going on. So don't worry about it. Cool. Well,
that last game went real well.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. That's the Control Warrior stuff. All right. Well, we want to close out the show. We want to thank our fine guests once again for being willing to come hang out with us and put up with our production issues and cuts.
Well, that wasn't your fault. That was Blizzard's fault on that one.
Blizzard stuff and all kinds of crazy. I hope that the video that I recorded locally can be salvaged. If not, then we'll just do audio. It sounds to me like the stream did not go well. I'll have to figure out what's going on with OBS. But anyway,
once we have some audio for me to edit, we'll be good.
You
can find us on HearthCoach.net. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Google Play, Google Plus, wherever you can think social we are. You can leave us reviews at iTunes. We're also on Stitcher. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/HearthCoach, and we're there. If you want to email us with that happened, or Hall of Legends, or any feedback in general, we are at hearthcoachpodcast@gmail.com.
All right. Well, pretty much covers it, Fred.
One last thing is we like to give Black Wolf the stage. If he wants to give any shout outs before we close out the show, here's your chance, man. Plug whatever you want.
I don't really have much today because I didn't write a guide recently, or I didn't do much with any sort of articles on Reddit, but basically just, I'll probably start Twitter soon, so because my whole team started it except me, and also I want to get that done because the guides are very popular, so people probably enjoy seeing what I put out, and
get that done, and then go on over to Coin Concede because it requires some kind of a tweet or something to enter their contest. So, get on Twitter.
Yeah, I probably should get on to that soon. I have like an old Twitter account that's like 5 years old or something, but I need to shut that down and then reuse that email to make another account. So as soon as I figure out how to deactivate a Twitter account to start up a new one. Because I don't know, there's probably some cringy stuff on the last one.
No.
Like the entering contests or tweeting Blizzard. And I don't know. But I'll figure all that out soon.
Very good.
So.
Alrighty.
All right, if anyone out there in the chat braved this, appreciate it. And sorry, we'll figure out the issues for the next time. But until next week, good luck to everybody on the ladder.
Good luck, everyone.